Krampus.
Black Pete.
Or syndrome.
Don't have Nips Bedrock anymore.
Portly Gentlemen's Podcast.
No, hold up. I'm just chucking a piss. Give me.
That's the perfect way to start it.
Oh, yeah, that would be. Yeah, carry on. Sorry, I didn't say that at all.
My computer's like.
I'm
fucking-
serious. Hurry up. Start it already.
Good start. You'd only piss to my voice now. Like,
I need to cut
soothing.
the
Very
running sound
soothing.
of CK's voice.
Yeah,
alrighty.
every time I hear it.
G'day, ladies and gentlelves. Tonight, our fellow travelers of the mysteries, the portly gentlemen themselves, we have Mr. Michael Nixon, Mr. Robert Nixon, Martin the Gent, Captain Spectacular, and Trent, and myself, Cameron Cattle. This broadcast being recorded from the top of the world, the one, the only, the real, very real, definitely real North Pole. From the evil Krampus to Rudolph the drunken red-nosed reindeer, the mysterious mushroom cult that controls our world, or the impact that our stories take on our kids' trust. Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. That's right. Tonight, it's a very portly Christmas. You had better hold on to your Santa hats and give your bells a jingle. Get ready for the next installment of the Portly Gentlemen's Podcast.
Jingle bells, Michael smells, Cameron laid an egg. Trent don't know how to find that thing, and everyone's having a good time. Martin Gent was Melly Westbend to get yourself a sign. And Caelan's here, and he's not a kid, he's just drinking beer, we're having a good time. Well, jingle bells, ooh, what else? It's a Christmas special, yeah. Portly gentlemen, they know it's just that time of year. We're gonna tell some stories, tell some tall tales. No old man, well, it never fails. We're all having a good time, so gather around right here. Oh, jingle bells, oh, what else? It's another Christmas tune. Listen now, don't have a cow. It will be over soon.
When? Oh, now! Shit!
Right.
Nice.
That was awesome, Biggie.
Nice.
Fucking beautiful.
All right, so do we want to go through, like, what are we going to talk about tonight, boys? What were our topics?
Talking about the
Christmas.
Oi,
classic Santa, Red Nose, Rudolph.
yep, that guy is a drunk.
That son of a bitch.
Rudolph. Think about it, right? Like, no one liked hanging out with this guy, right? He's always just like, for no reason whatsoever, other than he's got a red nose. Now, what's that red nose indicative of in like a cartoon, like storytelling sense in a song?
Maybe it's
drunkard.
about a huge ego. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
A drunkard.
a drunkard. That's why his
I-
nose is red. And
I
he's
actually
always
read
so
a good
hammered
one.
that everyone's like, I don't fucking want to. Rudolph, he's always so fucking drunk, man. Do not let him play cricket with us. He just fucking whacks the ball over into the fucking thickets. And then he's like, ah, fuck it. Just stumbles off. And the reason that he knew how to guide Santa home when it was like real foggy, because he's so fucking blind, rotten drunk all the time. He's used to being like blurry vision, and he just knows how to make his way through the fog. And that's
His
why he
legs
could guide the sleigh.
carry you home. Yeah, boy.
Yeah. It's the classic like directional, drunkenness sort of thing. You know where you're going somehow.
Did
So-
Santa crossbreed Rudolph with a homing pigeon?
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him, mate.
I mean,
that sounds like
Rudolph
a...
was probably so drunk. all
I
the time,
actually
like,
heard a
he's
good
fucking
one.
homing pigeon.
I heard a good one that Rudolph's like the outcome of an incest baby sort of thing. So
What?
there's like, yeah, it's hilarious. It's like
Was it
Hey.
Donna and Vixen?
someone's
Who was
broken
it?
down the old, like an old Santa Claus sort of movie and that, and it was just all about Rudolph being an incest. That's why none of them wanted to hang out with him at the start or play with him because he was
Incest
inbred.
baby. Yeah, that makes sense. Who was the parents? Who were the?
Mum and dad,
Yeah, but who's the mum
Your
and
mum
dad?
and dad.
who were brother and sister.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
but
mum
who-
and dad.
Yeah, it
Bro
was
and
Donna and
sister.
Blitzen.
Oh shit! Kaylin's an incest baby.
Are you trying to tell us something here, Kalen?
I got better.
He was a witch. Oh, and mute.
This
Right,
one
do you have
was
any
actually
more-
really
do you have any
hard
more
to go
to
down.
back this up, or
No, man, I'm totally just making it up. Hang on, I gotta get something.
right?
Carry on.
Is he dressed like Angus?
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's what I think. Yeah.
He looks a bit like Angus. Eh?
Yeah, that's exactly where my head went.
Yeah.
Another
True Aussie.
another
hero.
one trying to like look into Christmas shit. One of the good ones I've read was what's it? Macaulay Culkin? No, Kevin out of Home Alone.
Yeah,
Macaulay
Macaulay
Culkin.
Culkin.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he ends up growing up to become the guy out of Saw, the killer out of Saw.
What?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to
Oh,
explain
it's
that more
awesome,
than
man.
that.
Well,
How-
it's
how
like-
does this happen?
They
Think
break
about it.
down because he
That's-
sets
that's
up
not that big of a
the
leap,
traps.
dude.
Yeah,
Macaulay
he sets
Culkin,
up the
Home Alone.
traps.
Have you
He's
seen-
got a thing about cameras and stuff.
Have you seen Home
seen-
Alone?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a-
Have you seen the
Oh, I'm
petition
sure I would've.
for
Can't remember it
them
that
Have
well.
you never
to
seen Home Alone, dude?
remake?
I'm sure I have.
You probably weren't allowed to watch it because it was PG, not G. But there's a movie
I mean, like,
called
that's
Home Alone.
definitely accurate. I would have had to watch it after being 18, but I mean, I'm sure I've watched it since then. You know, I went through a period of like watching all those annoying movies that I wasn't allowed to when I was a kid. Got to watch Home Alone. You know, start watching The Simpsons like
Oh,
front to
dude.
back. You know,
That was me. My fucking
All-
parents didn't let me watch The Simpsons.
Really?
yeah.
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 Sucks, man.
Were they
Okay, cool.
Everyone has all these sweet Simpsons references all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, I don't know what that is.
That's because
Right,
I
sweet.
started
So
talking
who's next?
into it.
Who's got a story? Who's got a another topic?
Yeah, I got I had a bit of a look into Krampus, which is like this fucking like demon equivalent of Santa Claus. It's like
Is that the
Yeah.
German?
It's
Yeah,
Scandinavian
yeah.
Thing,
Yeah.
German kind of, well, yeah, it's sort of like unknown origins, but that's where it is prevalent, sort of thing.
So Krampus is, I'm guessing, the striped dress, or
Definitely.
Yeah. I think Krampus is just
Definitely.
the long tongue.
Yeah.
That's Gary, the red guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
His tongue
So
is called
That's
Krampus.
that's all Gary, but yeah.
You know what Krampus does? It's a tongue twister. That's what's happening right there.
Ooh, I see what you did there. But yeah, this is a fucking postcard from 1911 in Germany, and then there's another.
They were always a dark people, weren't they?
No,
I
no,
mean, it's-
no wonder why they went to war.
Look at
Right?
this dude, like,
Yeah, no
this
wonder
kid's
they're
about to
fucked
get
in the
fucking
head.
raped, man. Like, look at this
Nah,
fucking thing.
I feel like he's just being put into a bin, but
That's his
Huh?
It's his dinner basket.
tongue.
it's in a dinner basket. The devil only Krampus only eats out of baskets,
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
hand
If
woven
there's
baskets.
children, yeah, if there's children in the basket, he's gonna
Easy.
eat it.
yeah.
Is that how he
Krampus
judges the
gotta eat.
size of the child?
Yeah.
Like that kid
Yeah.
there would fit perfectly in that basket.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
if they don't fit, he's just like, nah, too old.
Yeah,
Flicks
okay.
them out.
That's totally it.
It's,
Yeah, I'll
it's
give him
like
some apples
40,
instead.
40 potatoes could fit in that basket. That's a very, very, very heavy meal.
Yeah. Well, he does only eat once a year, so you know, it's got to be a fucking
Yeah.
big one, man.
You gotta fill up.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So what's the deal then, Mick? Tell us a bit more about it, man.
Yeah, so you know, it's believed to be originated from like a pagan belief, you know.
Yeah.
So it's all pre-Christian. It's interesting. One thing I found pretty strange is that over there they celebrate on the 5th and the 6th of December rather than the 25th and 26th.
Not still to this day.
No, I don't know. I didn't read that actually. It just said like this was probably pretty recently, so I'm
I
not
think
really
they
sure.
do, man, because it's considered a different day. It's like Saint Nicholas Day or something like that.
Mm.
Well, it's
I'm not sure. I read
Japan
something about that.
celebrate their New Year's a different day than
Yeah.
we would celebrate New Year's.
Well,
so-
Chinese New Year's is like in the middle of the year, man.
Yeah, it's a different
Well, I
calendar
said
though.
Japan.
Yeah, different
but-
calendar.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
entirely
yeah,
different
true.
calendar.
But yeah, so they basically have this festival over there in Austria and Germany where a bunch of people will dress up as Krampus, and everyone meets in like whatever the town square, and then they like have speeches and all that sort of shit, and then they're like, all right, go, and then everyone basically fucking like runs from there, and all the Krampus dudes run after everyone and just like whip them with birch sticks and like fucking like just try to scare people and all this sort of thing, and like turns into this like real chaotic event sort of thing.
Is it like the whole town rocking up with like dressed as
yeah,
Krampus?
Yeah, that's right. And all the kids have to run away because like all the adults dress up as like this evil demon.
Just a good
what's
reason
the,
to whip a
um,
child.
What's the
Yeah.
other side of it? What's the other
So-
side of it? So there's like Krampus and like what's the good guy? Is it just it's like
Saint Nick.
Saint Nick?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So like
Mm.
some people will dress up as Saint Nick. So on that day, there'll be like they can either be just Krampus or they'll roll in sort of like a duo of Krampus and Saint Nick. And
Yeah.
Saint Nick will like give a present to the kid if they've been a good kid, and Krampus will just like fuck their day up if they've been naughty.
Hit 'em with
So,
birch.
Saint
Hit 'em
Nick
with birch, dude.
is Saint Nick like a religious thing that has been introduced
Saint
Well,
Nicholas.
into
Saint-
like Krampus?
So it's sort of like I think as far as I understand it like, and I'm sure I think CK is probably going to speak to it a bit more, is like when it got integrated into the Christian faith, the pagan
Yeah,
religion.
okay. Yeah.
And they kind of just blended the two together. And so Krampus is supposed to be the son of Hell, or I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but that's how it's spelled, which is the pagan god of the underworld.
Yeah. Is it spelled
Um,
Heil?
Heil.
No, just Hel.
That was the wrong hand, by the way.
Germans.
That'd be
It's
something like that.
classic Germans. Yeah, they can't get away from it, man. Yeah.
They're pretty fiendish.
Yeah. Love a
Yeah.
good word. That's
Did you
what
see
I
that?
always say
Did you
about
see
it.
there was just like some photo published of them having like a military torchlight vigil, like celebrating the
Krampus.
no, it was like celebrating
Was it 10 days
that-
ago?
they're like the chick that is like their leader or whatever. It's like this military thing, and apparently it's like not uncommon. But you should see these photos, bro. It's just like a bunch of dudes looking straight up Nazi, just holding fucking tiki torches, like goose stepping through the streets. Yeah. Oh
Nice.
shit, Germany hasn't changed that.
Still keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Keeping the dream alive.
They're like, no, guys, it's not about us being Nazis. Like,
Yeah. The party has a different name now, all right?
Yeah. we're just celebrating our great
we
leader.
don't-
That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't associate with them, and we're neither male or female. So fuck you all.
Yeah.
They associate as Hawaiians carrying tiki torches.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. He some of the things that he was like supposed to have done is to whip kids with birch sticks.
Yeah.
The other thing was eat
Why?
children because
they've
they've been
been
naughty.
naughty.
Yeah.
Say what, like birch sticks? Like the ultimate naughty stick sort of
Yeah,
deal?
dude,
Or?
you ever been whipped by a birch stick?
Oh
Dang,
man,
man.
that thing stings.
Whew. It
Only
Ah,
just
Jack
fucking
Gordon.
ah.
Only
Is
Jack
it
Gordon for
that
me.
if you got
leaves-
coal in your sack, you were like gonna get
What?
eaten?
What? Where does the
Yeah.
coal
You got
come
a
from
chunk
then?
of coal. Probably
Yeah.
like Christian belief.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the coal comes from. Yeah.
Oh, it's Black Pete.
Oh,
pretty
dirty old Black Pete. That's
Yeah,
not,
so there's like the
not being racist. It's
no, but like
dirty
it's
old
kind of
Black
racist.
Pete.
It is kind of racist. So like the whole Black Pete thing, like they're like constantly
Alright,
calling. So
I'm a-
in the Netherlands, they're like they have Black Pete, and he's the slave of Santa, and it's a white guy that does like his face is covered in coal.
Yeah.
So he's like literally doing a white guy doing blackface, and he's the slave of Santa.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm straight onto it.
So-
Straight onto it.
So
A
like
new
yeah,
thing I didn't even know about.
you knew there was somewhere deep inside your cultural
Deep
heritage
inside
coming
me.
back to you, bro.
Deep
Receiving
inside.
all that coal for all those years, you
Yeah.
finally questioned
Can you
it.
find a
Only-
photo, some photos of Black
only
Pete there, Trent?
Can try. I was just found another origin for coal.
Are you just gonna?
Apparently, in the 19th and 20th century, coal was commonly burned to heat houses. So when Santa Claus came to visit down the chimney, it was convenient for him to grab a lump of coal and leave it for children on his naughty list.
Okay,
Yeah. Why would he even go
Yeah.
down the chimney though? You know what I mean?
because
Like-
the snow's so high around the house that they can't get in anywhere else.
But
And
like,
he's magic.
if
It's
he's only
easy
going
to
there, leave
land
some
He
a
coal,
shapes
sleigh.
just leave
He
him.
shapeshifts into like this goo that can just like slip through.
Slide on
How could-
down.
Yeah,
It's-
just slide straight on through.
It's full Harry Potter magic, mate. That's what it is.
Did you find a Black Pete,
Yeah.
Trino?
I'm I found the story of Black Pete.
There's gonna be images. Just Google images, man.
Just look up blackface, dude, and
Righto.
I'm sure it should. Yeah, the other
That
thing
was
that
right.
that
That was
Krampus would
the
do
bad
is
way.
take the child to hell and keep him in hell for a year. By the way, that was the other.
Jesus Christ, that's an intense man.
Yeah.
Wait, a year?
Just a year?
As in human,
A year.
A year as in human years, or a year as in hell
Well,
years?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That wasn't specified.
Are you
to be
thinking
honest.
like Constantine, where like 1 second?
Totally.
Yeah,
am.
Yeah, here we go.
There you go. There's the Black Pete.
Hey,
Hey,
Black
Black
Pete.
love it. I knew it. I knew it was a thing.
So this is just like a real
But-
deal. Like this is a real thing in the Netherlands. Like
Yeah.
if you go to Amsterdam around Christmas time, this is what they're celebrating. Like
Hey.
what?
Sweet.
Dirty
So
old
they-
Black Pete.
Yeah, let's not keep that up there too long. I feel like
Yeah, yeah.
just looking at it makes me slightly more racist. Like somehow.
Man, isn't this
Like
channel
contagious.
about the freedom of speech and yeah, whatever.
Oh,
So
dang.
apparently there was a bit of an uproar recently about
Yeah, it's huge.
this
every
Black
year,
Pete
yeah.
character being shown on television
Yeah.
in the Netherlands.
Yeah, because there's like a
Mhm.
big parade that they have that I think he comes in on a boat through the canals, and like it's a massive thing where like the whole country watches. Where like I think it's like something like Saint Nick and Black Pete, like right up the river on a canal boat, and yeah, they're like a bunch of like fucking vegans are all like, "Hey, stop it! It's mean to people" or whatever,
Yeah.
Bunch of
So
vegans.
apparently the Dutch are
So-
trying to defend the tradition.
Yeah.
With the most common
Is-
explanation being that his face is black because of the soot from the chimney when he descends to bring the children presents.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, in
Obviously.
your face, bleeding hearts. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
It's not about slavery.
No,
No,
he's just got a dirty face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's just a dirty face guy.
do you reckon that's an adaptation, like a dulling down of Krampus? Like Netherlands was like, oh, I mean, demons are pretty rough. It's Christmas.
It could
just paint
definitely
that
be that.
face." Yeah,
Yeah, they're like,
but
oh, let's use black people instead.
Bloody blackface,
kind
man.
of the
they're
same,
not as
right?
scary.
You know what it was? They were like, back in the day, they were like, oh, fuck Pete. Pete's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Pete.
But do you reckon it's like classic?
Oh, fuck him.
Do you know a Pete, Marty?
Yeah, I'm starting to think so.
No, I don't. Honestly,
Nah, don't know anything.
You just
Oh,
had
I
that.
would know Pete's.
You had that rage inside you all this time. Like,
always got some
I-
rage. Just always got a little bit of rage.
This is
for a
Dustin.
Pete, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, black,
Yeah, cool.
yeah.
Does anybody else have any more topics?
Yeah, dude. I looked into this thing. Has anyone heard of the Santa Claus syndrome?
No.
Oh, see, I touched this too. I tried
Yeah.
to go down that rabbit hole, but I didn't read much.
Yeah, so I looked at it briefly just because of what you said, Trent, and it seems to be about like childhood trauma kind of thing.
Yeah, basically, it's the idea that us lying to our children and passing it off as it's a big thing that everyone's in on. Even if you find out that it's not true, don't tell your sisters, don't tell anyone else. Like, we want to keep them in the lie,
loop.
basically,
Yeah.
and the damage that that can do to the development of children. Saying like, if they can't trust their parents, basically who can they trust? Like,
Yeah.
and everyone in their life is feeding this same lie.
Yeah.
Like,
And even
yeah.
after they know, they're still expected to pretend that they don't know.
Yeah, that's it. They're expected to be part of the lie.
Yeah.
That's how you get presents until 18, by the way, guys. Just
Yeah.
so you know. Or 22, whichever one is.
But
Yeah,
so
or
I'm like,
32.
Depending on
I'm
the
like
family.
conflicted on this because you can go two ways.
Maybe.
You could go two ways, and like, who hasn't lied to their child? And
I don't love
Two.
my kids.
Me.
the fact that
I've
the whole
never
world's
lied
on
to
it
my
teaches
child.
them not to trust.
Yeah. That's
Trust
it.
the
That's it.
world, like question everything.
That's
So
it.
is it a bad thing?
Good lesson, bro. You know?
Is
Yeah.
it a good lesson or is it a traumatic lesson? Like,
No, it's like,
and that's
wait,
that's
think
not
that-
the
I
only
think-
part of it.
I
think
it
Kalen's making a
depends
good
on the
point, though.
child.
I
It's
think
like-
there's worse traumatic things though. Like
yeah.
your first time you get stung by a fucking wasp or something, and the fear of God it puts in you.
No,
after
but
that.
like psychological trauma of
Yeah.
like fucking being lied to like that is
By
I
the
think, a bit
people that are
worse.
supposed to protect you the most, your
Yeah.
family, your parents.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's like a lot worse. But anyway, what's the other bit they try?
so the one of the other parts of it is trying to like instill the ideal that if you be good, you get given things for free. So you should only be good if you're going to get stuff for free, because like, why else would you be good?
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fair point.
I mean, it just makes it easier as a parent. You know what I mean? If
I
you want
mean-
this fucking thing, like, be a good kid. Like, don't be a shit cunt, and I'll get this for you. You know?
is
You know-
like, but does that prepare you for the rest of your life? Like,
I mean,
"Ah,
that's
yeah,
sort
I'll
of
just
how
be a
life
good
works.
father."
And isn't it
You
supposed to be like a long-term contract? It's like, have you been good this year?
Yeah. the whole
Like,
year.
no, little fuck, you haven't. You fucked up on February 18th. This time, you done fucked up, boy.
I've got it all written down.
Is that
right
your
here in
boy's
my
birthday? No, you fucked
No,
up.
is that what
that?
You really
It's-
traumatized me on this day.
It's the day before.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Yeah. In also looking into that, I found another version of the Santa syndrome, but from a conservative perspective, like a Christian background. And they're basically saying that Santa existing at all, when children find out that, or people find out that Santa's not real, and Santa is linked to Saint Nicholas, which is like a Christian belief. When they find out he's not real, they're like, oh, well, if Santa's not real, then how do I know if Jesus is real? And
Yeah.
they reckon that it's turning a lot of people atheists, and it's apparently a pretty big deal in the Christianity belief system.
Yeah, so I mean, to be like just
Yeah.
from like for perspective, so like I grew up in a Christian household and whatever, and I was at school, and one of the like bigger kids there, I think it was Easter, and one of the bigger kids there was like, "You're a fucking loser." Like it was like in year 7, I was in like year 2. He's like, "You're a loser. Like Easter Bunny's not even real." I was like, fuck off. Yes, he is, kind of thing. Went home.
Yeah.
That night, I'm like fucking having a bit of a teary in my bed, like when mum's like, saying goodnight to me. She's like, oh, what's up? I was like, oh, well, this boy was like bullying me and he told me that Easter Bunny isn't real, but he is though, right, mom? And she's like, well.
Oh, fuck.
So,
Right then, CK became a man.
Yeah, that's right. So like,
Right.
The first pube
stories
like sprouted
and
out
all
right at
that.
that moment.
And so I was like, oh, okay. What about the tooth fairy? She's like, no, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, really? I was like, oh, what about Santa? She's like, oh, look, just pretend that he's still real, but he's not actually real. But like we all like it's a big game that we play, kind of thing. I was so devastated. And then my next one was, and what about Jesus? She's like, no, he's real. He's definitely real.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, well, like, what the fuck can I trust anymore? Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just fucking lied to me about the other fucking 3 big things in my life. Like, why would I now believe you about this?
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
So I mean,
yeah.
that was definitely like a big fucking thing for me. I don't know about like other people, but yeah, that definitely is one for sure.
I can't say it affected me too badly. I think
Yeah,
I
because
found
you
out.
still believe in that shit. dude.
Finding out about Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank our Lord and Savior for the.
I'd like to
Oh, blast
thank
Mick.
Baby Jesus for giving me presents every year.
Yeah, you still get a stocking, Mick, or what?
I got a fucking stocking for sure, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
hell
I got a
Hell
stocking.
yeah.
Yeah, I have to do. I have to
You got a
fucking
stocking
fill it
too?
up now.
Fuck
though.
yeah, man.
Dude, I don't even have a fucking Christmas tree.
What this? Oh no, Christmas tree.
I
Fuck
hope
Christmas
it gets
tree.
filled
I've
up
got a
full of
Christmas tree.
food.
You guys are fucking.
I got a Christmas tree now, but like I wouldn't put one up if I didn't have Finn. You know what I mean?
I would.
I can understand Trent's.
I would. It's just something else to celebrate.
I could
Like,
have a
I love
Christmas
celebrating
tree of-
shit.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I've always been.
Any
Problem
any
Christmas.
excuse for a fucking party, and like Christmas is a sweet party. Like I don't know. I feel like that's not like a fucking thing to be like negging on. Like,
Oh, dude, I would have a Christmas tree if I had a family.
What a Grinch. Actually, I got a good one for you. You know Max out of the Grinch?
Mm.
the
So
dog.
apparently, yeah, the dog is an unwanted Christmas gift. And that's how we ended up with the Grinch.
Being the Grinch and
Oh,
stuff.
there we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I got a little one for you as well. That the Grinch and the dog from that movie.
Max, his name. Let's
The
call him
Grinch
by
and
his name.
Max. Jack Skellington and his dog. Once they die,
Sorry, can you say it again?
becomes
he
Jack Skellington.
Skellington, and Jack Skellington has a dog as well.
Who's Jack Skellington?
Ah, dude, as if you don't know The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What's
Oh,
that
yeah, I actually have heard
director's name?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. It's like
Yeah.
that whole Tim Burton universe. They all live in this one.
Yeah, in the same.
They all live
fucking
in like
limelight
peaches or
whatever.
something. I'm pretty sure, right?
Peaches.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they've all got scissors for hands.
Except for that
Makes
one
it
dude with
easy to get
salad.
into the peaches. Scissor fingers.
What do you got for us, CK?
All right, so I fucking turns out I ended up writing a book. So you have to bear with me.
What'd you call it?
I called it "It's a Very Portly Christmas."
Nice.
Oh yeah, well done.
That was a
Okay.
sick name.
I'd
On the
read that.
spot too. Yeah, I'd
So from elves to Alice in Wonderland and everybody's favorite mushroom-headed Mario character. Depictions of mushrooms in cave art paintings, like the cave art in. Hold on, can you do your job, Trent?
Dude, I'm all over
Depictions
it.
of mushrooms in cave. Hey, no speaking. Depictions of mushroom in cave art paintings, like the cave art at Tassili Nagar in southeast Algeria, are estimated to have been painted on the cave walls in 4,713 BCE, around about 7,000 years ago.
Oh. Can I say one thing though?
Yeah.
That guy's
Oh, nice
packing,
boobs.
and he looks like he's been hit by Cupid.
That,
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying arrows,
Dude.
arrows everywhere, bro.
that
I think it was all the
image
mushrooms, man.
there to me looks like those dudes understood like the mycelial connection of the mushroom. Like the mushroom is only present above ground, but it's the connection of all those little tendrils
all the
dots.
underground.
What a weird face, though.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bee. It's a bee.
It is a
looks like
Is it?
Oh no,
Yeah, okay.
that's what it looks like to
Right
me.
here?
That's
No,
what it looks like to
it
me.
I was going to say a
It's
mouse.
a very
Yeah, I can see a mouse as well.
It's
But, like,
very
the nose-
detailed.
cross line.
That whole cross net sort of pattern.
Yeah, that's what Marty was talking about the mycelium. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like my point is like with that is just that like this shit has like existed since like the fucking start of time and like right up to like the current day with like mushroom depictions in popular culture.
Dude, that one's got
Oh,
like
yeah.
LM.
Oh,
They
yeah.
actually signed that off.
LM.
Whoever drew that
right there.
Is LA or
Yeah.
fucking LM.
LM for BM. That's that's definitely from the same
I
artist.
Same
think-
era.
for sure.
I think this artist is pretty damn good for someone who is like eaten
Who'd
a
literally
lot,
never done
a
drawings.
lot of shrooms and has
Well, isn't like cultures some like especially I don't know Norway and that cultures and festivals they have with mushrooms? Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk about a bit about. So, like, today, obviously, we're here to talk about Christmas, and the idea that, like, what I'm going to talk about is the idea that Christmas itself was also part of, like, a hidden knowledge or from a mushroom cult that has shaped our world, like, still to this day. In particular, the Amanita muscaria and the Flygaric mushroom, or the Flygaric mushroom, and the imagery of elves and the colors of red and white. So, like, you can see these images here that we're looking at is Christmas cards from like the 1950s, just with like straight up shrooms everywhere. Like in particular, the Flygaric mushrooms, the classic red and white.
Where did they originate from? Because you'd have to say that's Irish, but I thought the fly agate mushrooms are like fucking.
No, it's everywhere. They're like all through the Americas, like all through
Oh
Europe.
wow!
Yeah. So,
It's
but
on the
in
other side of that door. The universe, probably.
yeah, that's right.
Anything
Your
you can
mind
imagine.
being blown.
There's
Ah.
Cupid again.
Yeah.
Is that not Cupid with a mushroom this time?
Yeah.
So Lapland is a place near the North Pole. It's their people are like a reindeer herding shamanic people, and they have a deep spiritual connection to the Amanita muscaria. In the dead of winter, their shamans tour around to different peoples in different areas on a sled led by reindeer, delivering the gifts of healing and insight through the use of psychedelic mushrooms. These mushrooms,
I
these-
love it.
yeah,
Love
so,
it so
so these
much.
mushrooms have a mycorrhizal relationship with coniferous trees. Most commonly, the Flygaric mushrooms are found growing at the bottom of pine trees. I don't know, like little gifts, maybe. The star on top of the,
I see.
Sorry.
you're right.
Sorry.
The star on top of I feel like I might as well just fucking finish reading it. The star on
My
top of the
bad.
Christmas tree represents Polaris, the brightest star in the northern hemisphere, and it's in a season where there's basically no light at all. So the
Jesus with a mushroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
classic. He was fucking
Or is that Saint
tripping.
Mary with the beard?
Yeah, it does look very feminine, dude. That is very feminine.
yeah, they all look feminine in all those old paintings. I don't know.
Super
I feel like
feminine.
it's just
It's
because
like-
they had shitty nutrition.
I'm a lady with a beard. You know, one of those scenarios.
Yeah, so like the star on the top of the Christmas tree is like literally like what represents anyway, like what they used to like worship, which is like Polaris, which is the brightest star in the sky in the darkest season. So when there's no light at all, they would use this star to like navigate. The mushrooms or gifts are strung up over the fireplace to dry out, just like our stockings, just like we do with stockings now. Hanging them up by the fireplace. It's also true that in the deep winter, there is a real lack of vitamin D due to the constant darkness. And this is then traditionally been supplemented by eating mushrooms. So after being gathered and tied onto a string and strung around a tree like a Christmas ornament, the amanita absorbs more vitamin D, and then would help you and your family get through the depths of winter, with your good health.
that real?
you're right.
Whilst
Do they
drinking.
actually like absorb vitamin D?
Yeah.
Did you look that bit up?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, look, dude, all of this stuff is like fucking hearsay. So, but this is taken from like a lot of different sources.
Okay.
And so I just try to kind of condense down all of like the kind of most interesting bits or whatever. So probably if anybody out there that's listening to this, don't take my word for it. If you want to research it, there's a lot of information out there. Don't believe anything that any of us say, actually, by the way.
Except for me.
Yeah.
I say it is 100% gospel.
I was going to
don't
say, I
question
only speak the gospel, bro.
So when the shaman arrives, he's said to look like the mushroom. He decorates himself with red and white. So do you have that photo there, or that picture there? I think it's a photo, Treno, that I sent you of with the white polka dots and the girl. So apparently this is like the traditional costume of these people doing this ceremony. So they're literally like dressing up as the Amanita muscaria during this
like,
ceremony.
eat me, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Eat all.
This practice has a history of being outlawed in Siberia as well, like the government like cracking down on it, because these are like people that live out on the fringes. So to try and assimilate the culture, they've tried to get rid of it. And it's so much so that the idea of not being able to enter through the front door for the shaman, so turns out them coming through the top hole in the yurt is actually like something that has historical grounding. So basically, Santa coming down the chimney. So now this is where it gets a bit weird, right? So reindeer or caribou, which caribou are like technically reindeer, are notoriously attracted to mushroom, even knocking people over to get to their urine. So why would they be trying to drink the piss of people that have had the mushroom? Well, because
it's tasty and full of vitamin D.
Yeah, they need vitamin D too. Yeah, it's part of their belief, their pagan belief. They're like,
So I mean, these people are like are reindeer herders. Like that's what they use. To,
that's what their life
get
is
around.
All about,
it's milk, it's meat, it's everything for them. So the answer is because Amanita muscaria is not necessarily psychedelic on its own. That is until you eat it. You might feel a little dissociative and like feel a little sick. However, from what I could understand about this entire thing is basically the idea that for you to not feel sick and for you to actually be able to access the hallucinogenic chemicals in it, it has to have already passed through the body.
So the fucking deer are getting high.
The deer are getting high, therefore, hence the flying reindeer.
It's all linked together.
All of it, every single bit, right? So you drink the urine and trip balls. And so this is what they do, right? The guy fucking old your mate shaman comes around and you drink some of his piss.
Nicholas, the shaman.
So high-dose mushroom experiences can often include visions of elves and other entities. So maybe that's where we get the images of, these little spiky-eared
machine elves,
dudes. Exactly.
Making toys.
Elves. Yeah, exactly. The shaman helps you to understand your visions, giving you the insight and understanding and new perspective. And these are the real gifts of Christmas. So the big thing that I took away from looking into all of this, and I did look a bunch of research into it, but the big thing I took away from it was basically this story is like the exact opposite of the Christmas that we see today. Our society has turned it into consumerism and greed, which is like totally taken over, like the true meaning, if this is the true meaning of Christmas, but let's say it is, then it's been totally taken over by consumerism and greed. But the idea of gathering with your family in the dead of winter to reflect on your shortcomings and appreciate the joys of the last year, creating a space to anticipate the new beginnings just around the corner. So yeah, Christmas is probably a pagan psychedelic piss drinking ceremony that was later adopted by Christianity and sold to the world as opportunity to spend a little of your hard-earned cash.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I read, CK, I don't know if you read anything about this, but I read that during that ceremony, like that pagan ceremony, it was like a week of like no rules, basically. Like all laws were abolished for a week, and it was like that's kind of what it was about as well. Or
Yeah,
is
I'm
that-
not.
no,
I'm
did
not
you read into
sure.
that?
And one of the things that anthropologists get like a bit cranky about or whatever is like when you talk about any of this stuff in like generalized terms, rather than it being like specific to a like certain group that's been documented, because it's so hard to like one fucking, you know, whatever, like 20 Ks away from the people doing that were potentially doing that ritual you were talking about could
We're
be like a
doing the-
totally different
yeah.
fucking ritual. So
yeah, okay.
so it's like really hard to fucking generalize about this stuff, but definitely like, you know, the whole idea of, you know, drying the mushrooms out on the tree, the fact that the mushrooms grow underneath the pine tree and are considered presents, that they have these ceremonies, that it's in the dead of winter, just that this, you know, like winter solstice is like the same time as fucking, you know, in the northern hemisphere, same time as like Christmas. You know, the fact that you know, like they hang up the mushrooms by the fire to dry them out, just like you know, stockings and presents in stockings, all this stuff, all this kind of stuff is like definitely been documented. But even just to say that it's true or that it was like that's where it came from is a pretty hard, like pretty big leap. But it's a
There's
fucking
definitely a lot of similarities.
there's
that's
a
for sure.
lot of
yeah.
similarities, and the
Yeah.
fact that the Amanita muscaria, like you know, fly Garrick image has then persisted as an image that is related with Christmas up till like the modern day. It's like what, like how
I've
like,
never seen mushrooms with Christmas though. Like that's
Really?
not linked. I'm like never see that as a Christmas decoration. And like
it's definitely
being
a
in,
Christmas decoration. I've definitely seen it as decorations you can put on your tree.
I just usually see like LED lights and
Baubles,
Christmas lights
Yeah.
tinsel.
and Santa Claus and reindeer sort of stuff. I've seen one reindeer on like a fucking Target, and there's Santa throwing knives at it. I thought that was a bit that was a bit heavy, like as a Christmas decoration.
We had those at work.
But yeah,
I mean,
I
that's-
did
that's
get a
Christmas
good
decoration.
chuckle out of me. So well done.
That's what it's all about, Christmas cheer, you know?
There's so many like links in that. Yeah, I'd never actually heard that one. That was really interesting.
Oh, there's way more than like what I even fucking talked about, man. Like, yeah, like the fact that like, you know, at certain times it was outlawed, so then the shaman would like have to come in through the top of the fucking tent.
Yeah, that one, man. That one I'd always thought
Cool.
was.
There's heaps of this stuff.
There you go,
Dude.
Kate.
I thought-
There's some Christmas lights for you, mate.
Oh, it's like, they're everywhere, bro. Like, there's a bunch of this stuff, and like the old Christmas cards is like the biggest thing. But obviously, it's like not as much
Well,
these days.
Whenever you talk about mushrooms, it's always that like
That
image.
mushroom, yeah, like Alice in Wonderland.
But is that because it's like one of the prettier mushrooms?
I mean,
Like you wouldn't do just a
Yeah.
big brown one. Like yeah, they
So
do
true.
it.
Gold cap.
Portobello's, like,
Yeah.
it's just so fucking like, yeah, that's a boring mushroom, dude.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
so
a
true.
very pretty mushroom, and like the color contrast or whatever. So like maybe that's it. But also like like the fact that it's so much through our history, like that
Oh
is
yeah.
the mushroom, like yeah, like Toad in fucking Mario, like fucking it's just like everywhere, you know what I mean? And like, is that just a remnant? Like there's some leftover memory that gets passed down and watered down, like from generation and to generation to generation, where actually what the thing that they were talking about. So like this entire tradition comes from like Siberia, and the tradition of Christmas, like pre Christianity, came from Siberia, Russia, like down through Germany and into like Middle Europe or whatever, and then was like I think from the Romans then like taken in as part of the like Christ, that's when it became
Central
Christ's
belief.
yeah, Christ's birthday, because it was like the largest largest like centralized kind of like celebration that they would have was like for the winter solstice,
Yeah.
They needed
Um,
to assimilate.
yeah, which is interesting, right? Because it's like it's actually like a like in the Christian tradition, it's a like birth thing,
Yeah.
whereas it seems like the original myth, if that is like actually the case, seems like the original myth was more of like a death thing, where like because it's the middle of winter, so maybe it's about because it's about new beginnings
Yeah.
and like what can potentially come after, like once the frost, like the snow melts. But like that, you would think that would be like a spring thing, rather than like in the dead of fucking winter. Like dead of winter is like from what I could gather, like my fucking limited understanding of it, it seemed
Well,
like
I
it
guess if they're assimilating the two together, man, they don't have to have an exact matchup. You know what I mean? Just as
no,
long
but you
as
have
they
to have some
use
kind of
enough-
It just gets
continuity. That's all I
twisted.
mean.
Yeah.
they
Like it would
they-
make more
Because-
sense to have Easter at Christmas if that was the case. It is my only thing. You know what I mean? Because like Easter is the death myth. Like it would almost make more sense for you to have Easter at Christmas, because of the time of year. Do you know what I mean?
Well, is that winter at that time of year in Europe?
It's like the middle of winter. The northern, like northern hemisphere, like particularly in the north of the northern hemisphere. Yeah.
That is winter in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like it's our summer here. So like if you reverse where we are onto the northern hemisphere, then it would be the
Yeah, okay.
opposite.
Yeah.
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 Sweet, dude.
What do you reckon, Marty?
Well, I reckon Saint Nicholas. I'm pretty sure I read that he was originates from Norway
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, and that's what Mick was saying. That day they celebrate just before Christmas, and that is like Saint Nicholas Day.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
6th of December.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what's weird as well is like another myth I've heard is like, well, like I mean, not necessarily myth, I just genuinely don't know.
Legend.
Is that like the colors? So like this would blow my entire thing out of the water, right? But like the colors were originally like blue and white.
Blue and or green
Yeah.
or something, wasn't it?
And then
Blue
it
green.
was like green and white, and now because of like Coca-Cola, they changed it to red and white. Which I mean, I don't know if any of that is true. So
That
like-
sounds like that could easily be Coca-Cola. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
We-
fucking
yeah,
so
we're
good
able
we
to
changed
change
Christmas,
Associated with
bitch.
bread.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Coca-Cola is responsible for the modern depiction of Santa Claus.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
totally.
With the
is.
big rosy
Yeah.
cheeks, white
and the big beard.
guy, big
Yeah.
fat dude. Yeah.
Because like Santa Claus has been like, throughout.
Yeah, I did read a really
There's so many different
hilarious article on the net today from someone called I can't remember. It was some Baptist church in Iowa, and it was this big article explaining how Santa is actually Satan. Satan's like set up Christmas sort of
Yeah.
thing.
SANTA,
Yeah.
like SATAN.
Synonym or whatever it's called, like one, of Satan, and it's like, oh man, you should have read this article. It was so fucking funny, going on about how it's like, it's like real lazy of him because he's like, he's used his like what do they call it, blood red as the color, what I mean? Like, and then like his name, he just flipped one letter around, like it was
God,
fucking-
us all.
lazy Satan.
fucking Satan, the lazy fuck. It's like, and like any kid that is like, essentially asking Santa for presents is basically
making a
praying
deal
to
with the devil?
Satan.
Yeah.
Making a sweet deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And his parents, if they get them that gift, are essentially signing a blood pact with the devil to like hand their souls over.
That's awesome, dude. You
Yeah,
should have
man, it was-
started with that, man.
It was
That's
so
awesome.
funny. It
Yeah.
was it was a really like hilarious article, man. It was like full serious too.
Oh,
At the
dude.
end of it, they're like, oh, so now that we all know, and now that you all know, like next time if you ever see this in a shopping center or a shopping mall or whatever, make sure you yell out to all of the unsuspecting victims of the Santa Claus that Santa is only there to fucking rape your children, and it just, like goes into all this, dude, like going on. It was like, holy fuck.
Oh, it's good that they give you some like an action plan of like what to do about
what
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch
Now I
out
know
for
the
child
secret.
Yeah.
What do I do with this though?
Look out, Santa's about.
Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, it was pretty funny.
Awesome.
He
Hilarious.
does know when you're sleeping.
He sure does,
That's the best
especially
time to
after
get
that
in.
chloroform. You know what I'm saying? You'll
So
fucking sleep tight that night.
is leaving the milk out anything to do with your story?
Yeah.
Is that
So
the cup of piss?
no. So like the milk
Oh
and
dang,
cookies
that would have
thing.
been so good.
So like that would
Yeah.
be like the like fucking payment basically that you would give to the like shaman that would come
Mm.
would be like you would give him food, and so you would like leave like basically like food for him to take, and so like then that like slowly transitioned into being like whatever milk and cookies or whatever
Yeah.
through time. But again, like I don't know if any of this stuff is like legit, but there is definitely a lot of like fairly well educated people like talking about this. And what's weird is it kind of ties into John Marco Allegro's book, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross, where he talks about basically the entire basis of Christianity is like a mushroom sex cult, and that all of the information is actually there. It's just that the translation, when they translated it from like ancient Hebrew, I think, into like modern English, you lose the context. So there's certain aspects to ancient Hebrew, for instance, things like there's no numbers in Hebrew, but at the same time, words can be numbers at the exact same time. So like there's a word for one that's also a word for something else, this kind of thing. So there's like this deep like messaging that can go wrong in translation. And so like this guy went through, and like this is like a very well, so he was working for the Vatican. I think that's the same guy. He's like working for the Vatican, like decoding the Red Sea Scrolls, and came to this realization and was like, oh, this is like nothing to do with, yeah, exactly, right?
That cunt's a fucking lizard, man. Look at that cunt on the right.
He's also very clearly a mushroom.
He's
You
a
know?
lizard, bro.
It
Oh,
does
mushroom,
dress
yeah.
like a
Oh,
mushroom.
shit. He does dress like a mushroom. I didn't even see
Look
that.
at that red top.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the whole thing, right? Is
So
that like
where does religion come from?
the mushroom?
Psychedelics.
Yeah, which I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer to me. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh,
this
it totally does.
this
I've
experiential.
sat and listened, and holy fuck, man, it
Yeah.
absolutely is.
Yeah, and like and the
Religion.
idea that, so like they used to call it gnosis, right? This is the whole idea of knowing, like that there is no substitute for you actually experiencing God and actually experiencing revelation. Like that is the true religion. And that was stripped away because they couldn't possibly have people communicating directly with God. They had to have mediators in between there, or else they wouldn't be able to control the messaging.
Yeah, like a shaman.
Yeah.
Like some fucking cunt who was just like, I've taken so much of this shit that I understand things completely different to all of you. And
Yeah, well, I
now
think
what
it's even bigger than that.
now that what I understand is what you all should understand.
Yeah, that's right. And that's
Yeah.
where religion starts and spirituality and connection with
Yeah.
God stops.
The burning bush, Moses finding the burning bush.
Moses burning a bush.
That
Yeah.
cunt was just
Yeah.
smoking
Yeah,
DMT.
to
It
enjoy
was
the
clearly
vibe.
DMT. It's an
Yeah.
acacia. Those acacias
Yeah.
grew all over fucking like Egypt. And like it's very, very clear like that
Yeah.
that the
Here
entire
are
fucking-
my 10 stones of commandments. I sat up there for however many days, chipping away very slowly because I was very fucking high.
We made a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of fucked up
Can't
tablets
you
up
read
there.
more?
Oh shit! I dropped the tablet.
Yeah.
Oh no!
There's no
Okay.
backspace on
So,
tablets.
yeah.
There
Now
was
there's
15
only-
commandments.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
15, now there's only fucking 10.
Yeah, we didn't need the other 5. Like, it's all good. I'm
yeah, I
sure
definitely
people
think,
will
like, that's actually-
understand.
My headspace was a little bit different when I wrote those ones.
Yeah, going through a bad trip at the time. Like.
But yeah, that's definitely something like I'd love to do a bit more research on and fucking like maybe even like talk to somebody that the fucking knows what they're talking about with it because
One
it's just
of
like
the
it's so fucking
oldest-
interesting to me.
Fossils they've ever found. Like we're going into like hundreds of millions of years. Is of a fucking fungi.
Yeah. Yeah,
our
that's the
our world wasn't created by
How did they know he was a fungi?
know,
Did he have,
grass,
some
lizards,
lights,
trees.
You don't believe in
You know,
evolution.
I believe in mushrooms now.
Nice eyebrows,
believe
CK. Do that again, dude.
Fungi. I believe they were right there, right at the start.
They've
Now,
been
we have to be-
manipulating us ever since.
Paving
we have to
the
be-
way.
We have to be pretty serious about this. You know, it's a serious conversation. Like
Very
Oh,
serious.
I think that potentially that if we were to go down that line of thinking, then it would be
Okay.
difficult to be able to disprove the idea of our world, particularly like the evolution from us as like our ancient ape ancestors to what we are today, being at least seeded by psychedelic mushrooms. One of the big
I absolutely think that, there was some mushrooms, there was some fungus involved.
So one of the big things that is, I think, the most compelling evidence to why that should be looked at least seriously, is the idea that fungi is one of the few things that their seeds, or in the case of fungi, spores, can still stay fertile and intact through vast amounts of time. Like it's like, whatever, hundreds of thousands of years in the vacuum of space. So whereas a
boy.
seed from a plant would
Oh,
just
Trent's gone.
Oh, where'd Trent go?
Santa got him.
weird screen.
Classic.
His
Yeah,
Yeah,
phone's
whereas
died.
whereas a seed from a
Krampus
plant or
grabbed him.
whatever would just die in the vacuum of space,
Yeah.
fungi can be sent. You can just shoot fungus spores out into the fucking atmosphere, and slowly they might then just end up on another planet and seed consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
what you're
how
saying is
Nintendo
when-
came to the conclusion for the character of Toad.
Yeah.
And the Toad Kingdom.
Yeah, well, I think it's basically like this leftover genetic fucking memory that we have.
So you're
of-
trying to link Nintendo to it though?
Appreciation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Nintendo's involved in the global mushroom cult conspiracy.
Big connection.
I'm
Big connection.
seeing dots connect right now. That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's not hard to go from Santa going down the chimney of a yurt to Nintendo being
Nintendo 64.
yeah, to Nintendo
Firing
64.
mushrooms
Yeah, that's
into
right.
space
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Mario
create the
going
Mushroom
down a
King.
pipe.
Yeah.
Did you,
Yeah,
do you
exactly.
think? Do you think they fired off some battalions as well?
Almost certainly, bro. They survive in the vacuum of space as well. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe it
Like-
was just like two plumbers working on the rocket as they've accidentally launched it. They're like, oh,
Oh
Mamma
shit!
mia, I'm on the rocket. You gotta let me on the rocket.
My pizza.
They told me to flick.
Sammy,
They told me to
Sammy,
fix
I'm
the
a
flux
rocket in the
capacitor.
door.
I love
I'm
everyone's
fixing the
Italian.
They're terrible.
Coming to fix the toilet. And now I'm in the space. This
I've
coming job a
seen
sucker.
the pool.
Oh fuck!
Oh, look, a delicious mushroom.
There
Yeah, I
is
think
a
that's-
very-
I got a good
very-
one.
I think there's a very, very, very powerful thing with mushrooms. Not just mushrooms, but I've always said fungi. People say fungi. People say fungi. I've always said fungi. But
I like fungi.
Like
or,
fungi.
yeah, or even
So
that. I've
imagine
also.
I like
heard that.
fun
people
guys.
that, like,
Yes, classic
Very-
ZK.
He's all about
Very-
Black Pete over here. He's got a fun bag.
In our major forests,
he's from
like in
Amsterdam, of course he's
forests
got a
around the
fun bag.
world, the absolute key player in a healthy forest is the fungi, is all its little tendrils under the ground. We may see mushrooms pop up here and there and be like, oh, look, a mushroom, yummy. Or, oh, look, a mushroom, I'm going to trip balls from this cunt. But their little, their little,
Classic
their
mush,
little
Marty.
system, their little, yeah, man, I wouldn't even say roots. It's like
It's
it's like a
mycelium net,
brain.
is what it's
Like,
called.
yeah,
Yeah.
mycelium.
Hey,
man,
hey Biggie,
like-
we can't hear you
and-
very well, mate. Your fucking audio is way low.
and what they do
Better?
to then connect to trees, and then trees then connect to each other to
Through the
then
mycelium,
Yeah,
yeah.
through this
the
massive network.
mycelium,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, and there's even been research done where one tree will get like infected with a certain like parasite or disease or
and
whatever.
then they get cut off.
And then the mycelial network will then be able like message the other trees, and so then that other tree then starts producing like fucking different like pheromones or whatever the fuck, like
Yeah,
so that it
different
can
patterns on their leaves and stuff.
yeah, so it can like combat the fucking like infestation.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not that trees are talking to themselves.
And they
it's
breathe
the
oxygen, right? So they breathe
It's-
oxygen and put out
it's
carbon
the-
dioxide. How
yeah,
close
it's
are
the
they to animals?
shrooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't
Like,
it
it's
the
closer
other-
to animals than a lot of other things. That's the
than
truth.
a
Delicious
plant.
animals.
They're closer to an animal than they are a plant.
Yeah.
And yet that's how plants can talk to each other, is through the
Through that
fucking
mycelium
motherfucking
network,
mushrooms.
That's
Like,
crazy, eh?
yeah, I don't know, it blows my
Apparently-
mind. Like,
Apparently the largest.
Hey, Biggie, your audio bad. We can't. You're like a quarter of the volume of everyone else.
Is that better?
That's heaps better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
way
So
better. Thank you.
apparently,
That's
the,
actually too good, dude. Take it
That's
down.
way
That's
too
perfect. No,
loud, yeah.
Biggie, it's perfect.
Honestly, that's how it is.
No, it
Ah.
is really loud.
It's
No,
fucking
shut
loud.
up, everybody else. Go, Biggie.
Also, go all the way to the right on your screen, just real quick.
That's the
Keep
left,
going.
by the way.
Yeah, that's your left.
Rub your nips as well. Just
that's
a
my
little-
that's my right, you fuckwits.
Yeah, yeah.
Just for
Yeah.
me. just a
Unbutton
little
your
bit-
shirt.
Stage,
pull your
stage,
nips out.
stage right, bro.
Show us your nips and start right.
Speaking of Biggie's, speaking of Biggie's
Hey.
nipples,
Said yes, please.
I've
I
got a
think
good
I've
one
said it
for
about
you.
five
Fucking-
times now.
can,
I've
can I
got
tell my story
another-
about Biggie's
Yeah.
nipples?
I'm a little
Mushroom
bit
Wait.
disappointed.
I
That's all right.
he came over to my house one time when I was like 18 or 19.
Whoa. Whoa.
And he had a
Hurry
nipple
up.
ring that proceeded to like basically pull out. I don't know whether he pulled it
Yeah.
out or it just fell
Yeah,
out.
yeah. He
Like
pulled
right
it
in
out.
front of me. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, what the fuck? And I like pulled his nipple ring out of his nipple. Like not as in undid it.
Yeah, pulled the
Came
skin
out.
Just
apart.
pull the
Yeah.
whole thing.
I was just like, what the fuck, dude? I haven't seen you in years. Fucking nipple ring puller over here.
I'm just here to separate the nips. You know.
Oh, hey, CK, fucking, did you see this, bro?
Look at this. Do you think this is? Does this look infected to you?
Yeah. Oh shit! There goes most of my nipple.
That was the weirdest thing, man.
Yeah,
the
it was.
weirdest thing.
It was.
You
yeah.
admit to it.
Because I like my piercing just like grew out of my body. Like the nipple basically like formed a scab around it and then just pushed it out. And I just like scratched it and it just fell out. And like
I feel like
You
It didn't-
Wolverined it.
your nipple is forever deformed.
no,
from
it's
this
fine.
growth.
Yeah, does
three
it have like a
nipples now.
tongue, like a forked tongue now? And it's just like
For sure.
It's other nipple grabs, some arms,
where
and
I'm
just
getting
like
at is, I need to see this nipple for like proof.
Little
I
like
need
in
to see
close up.
nip.
Can we get a close up
Yeah,
there? Biggie?
I
need-
Is it- like we need to
Can
figure
I
out.
see your nip?
Yeah, give us a look at
Biggie
this
nips.
deformed
Biggie
Right.
nips.
But
Biggie nips. That's so good.
that's my stripper name, Biggie Nips.
Big
When he
nip.
gets up on that pole, they call him Biggie Nips.
We got. Can we please? We need to confirm that. You don't have a lizard fucking tongue coming from your nipple.
Like you can't even fucking tell anymore.
Give us a look, man. Get closer.
Show me your damn nips already.
Show us
For
your
fuck's
fucking
sake.
nipple. How hard is it? I mean, your nipple. That is.
It
How hard
seems
is your
quite
nipple?
normal.
It is, dude. It grew back normal.
I can't see it.
it grew back normal.
Yeah.
Was it fucked up to start with, and then just
Did the whole
I-
like top bit come
fucking
off?
knew it.
Like, did
I
that whole
told ya.
like point, like the bit that comes out, did that come off, or was it just like split?
It just split.
I bet you that's like a detachable nipple.
It is.
Oh,
you
fake nips.
It's
Yeah.
Detachable
Fake
penis.
nipple.
Yes.
Oh, I'm taking this suit coat off, man.
I woke up one day and my penis was gone.
The touch of my penis. Hey, Biggie, can you still produce milk or what?
No, not for a while.
Did it mess that up?
It did. I can't lactate.
Oh, fuck.
Biggie, you
Disappointing.
gotta show your nips and your man milk from your nips,
Give us a look
not
at your
from your
man.
dick. I don't want to see your dick man milk. I want to see your nips man milk.
I don't have Nips man milk anymore. Ever since the incident with the ring, I can't fucking lactate.
That was the
Well,
last
don't
time I saw you
care.
milk
Just
yourself.
Show us your nips, you can't.
Hey,
Sake.
that used to be your show and tell. I remember now. Just out on the
Yeah,
stage,
right.
like squirting people.
Yeah.
Pulling his udders.
Yeah. With blood, like it's like blood milk. Oh, it tastes like blood and pus. I hate it when
That's what it is.
performs.
I feel like that's definitely what made Sarah go vegan.
fucking.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, no more animal products for me.
Yeah.
I know where this shit comes from.
Yeah.
I've eaten enough of his nips.
Strangely, still drinks milk though. You know, she just can't. She has to go back there
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Give herself a taste just to
Trying
remind
to
her.
just
Yeah.
remember
Taste.
what milk is.
Little snifter. Yeah.
I've got a good one for you, boys. Is another Home and Alone one.
Yeah.
Home
Did you
Alone.
just watch Home and Alone? What's going
It's
on?
called Home
That's
Alone.
how I
Stop
studied,
saying
mate.
Home and Alone. It's Home Alone.
Caleb.
Home Alone.
Oh, fuck, Home and Alone.
It totally is. But
Good point.
Is this the
It's like
one
Home and
where-
Away or some shit. Like,
Dude, it's
No,
definitely
Home-
Home Away.
Home and
Home
alone.
Alone.
yeah, with you each day.
Is this the theory of they're going to remake Home?
You have to think about it now.
Home Alone.
Oh, shit.
Home Alone.
I
They're
just did
going
it.
to remake. Is this the theory of they want to remake the original movie with Macaulay Culkin
Culkin. Why is everybody
Culkin.
retarded at speaking? Macaulay Culkin.
because he's a fucking retard himself. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
Never,
if he
never
says
say that
they
about
want
Macaulay
to
Culkin again. He
retarded
is a
want
true
to.
hero.
remake the original movie as him as the age he is now, but
and he's a
him
kid.
playing the child that he did. And nobody recognizes his age. And that's the movie.
Yeah, well,
That'd be
him.
amazing.
I feel like that guy had a lot of trauma in his life.
Yeah, he totally did, dude.
Pretty
Have
sure
you seen
he
the
was
photos
Michael
of him
Jackson.
Fucking
What?
juiced up?
When? You know?
Yeah. I'm almost certain he was Michael
What
Jackson.
kind of trauma? What are you talking about?
Yeah, where was him in court? Oh no, Michael Jackson never touched my penis or asshole or mouth or cheeks or lips or eyeballs or ears.
He never rubbed my nipples and
Yeah,
milked
yeah.
me.
Court's like, that is strangely specific.
Yeah.
And
He never
also,
told me that he loves
my
me,
dick.
and if I just do these
Yeah.
things, then he'll
Oh, no,
be
Michael
my daddy
Jackson.
forever.
yeah. Yeah.
He loved children. He had a
But-
theme park in his goddamn house.
yeah, okay, McCulkey, like that's interesting, but
Nicole, you best, mate.
McCulkey,
Macaulay. Mickey, it's
Macaulay.
Continue, sir. Continue.
I'm just seeing Cameron's fucking vein pop out of his head.
McCulloch,
McCulkey.
McCulloch McAdoo. Yeah, that's that's great about MJ, but
boy. Oh,
Uh,
that is so
yeah,
he did for him. My little home alone boy.
that's
Well, I mean, he's like the classic victim, right? Oh, I'm home alone.
yeah.
yeah. Oh, you need
Yeah.
some help over there?
All right, we shouldn't joke about child sexual abuse, guys.
No,
We're joking
shouldn't.
about
It's pretty
Michael Jackson.
brutal, but I
Yeah.
think it's all right.
I love how it's okay to joke about Michael Jackson being a child rapist.
Because he's
Like, what
dead
the
now. He can't hurt
Yeah.
anyone else.
Really? Like, is this the guy? Like,
Is he
that's when
dead?
it becomes okay to like the entire public is just like, yeah, no, we can joke about kids getting raped.
No, just about.
Child rape's finally okay to joke about. Michael Jackson's
Thanks,
dead.
Michael.
Tell the world.
I feel like that's that South Park episode with the AIDS is finally funny or something.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
Everybody's got AIDS.
It's-
Yeah.
The one I was talking about is where the mother is at the airport and she's trying to get back to Chicago. And one of her lines is, I'd sell my soul to get back to Chicago. And in that instant, Gus appears on scene and offers her a ride in the van. And
Ooh, the devil.
yeah, I can't remember the line, what she says, but yeah, makes a contract with him there, and he takes her to Chicago. So she sells her soul to the devil.
Jeez.
Yeah, sacrificing her child.
Mm. Well, no, she had more.
That's what she left her kid at home.
Kaylin.
She's like, I want to get back to the Boxing Day sales. Like,
To be fair, he was like
I was
30.
being my
Oh,
son.
what is he? 40 now.
Kaylin.
Yeah, but he wasn't at the time though. He was a child. But in the movie, he was a kid, right?
Kaylin.
Yeah.
Why is your face squashed right down? in
Because
the
I'm a
corner of my-
mushroom.
Fuck your mushroom theory.
He's a little mushroom, short and stout.
I don't need to take this.
I just wanted to see your face. And I can only see from your nose.
wow, you got like a
upwards.
Santa beard now for a sec there.
Yeah,
This,
that was a Santa beard though for a second.
It's an electric Santa.
Electric
I want to see your
Santa.
face, Kaylin.
Can that be the
That's
sign off
all.
song? Biggie,
That's
can you
all I'm
sing us a
saying.
song? Can we do like an interval and then we'll come back to a fucking wrap up?
Yeah.
Can we do Electric Santa as the song? And can one of the lyrics be Jingle My Bells?
Ooh.
Can you put mushrooms in there as well?
Yeah. And man, I want to hear about some fucking beetroot Christmas miracle, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
man. Just make it up on the
beetroots.
spot. It's
Yeah.
fine.
What was I singing?
Electric Santa. Jingle my bells.
Macaulay
Well,
Culkin.
that Santa's looking electric, going so spastic, it's so damn hectic. Oh yeah. Well, he's riding in his big old sleigh. He's up on the clouds, riding around all day, jingling his bells in Mrs. Claus's mouth.
Oh yeah.
He says, well, jingle my balls right up inside your love now. Well, jingle my balls right up inside you tonight. Mrs. Claus, come over here and you bring me some beer. And I'm gonna jingle my balls all over you just right. She's like, Santa Claus, settle down, please. Let me get down on my knees and you can jingle your balls right in my face. Jingle your balls all over the place. Oh, Santa Claus jingling his balls. Electric Santa Claus. Taking too many mushrooms. And it's spinning in the room. Mrs. Claus down on her knees. She's got his mushroom out. She knows how to please. She knows how to please. She's got that creamy cream. Oh, Mrs. Santa Claus.
Creamy cream, baby.
Took down Santa's drawers. Got his mushroom out, knows what it's all about. Making him scream and making him shout. He was a electric Santa. He's heavy on the panta. Oh, baby. Mrs. Claus, you're amazing. Jingle my balls just a little bit more.
I love it.
Oh dang.
Holy shit.
That's not a
Every
nice way to
time.
talk about Mrs.
Every
Claus.
time, Biggie.
Slut.
Every
She's a
time.
slut, dude.
Oh, she's
Beautiful.
only a slut for Santa, though. She's only a slut for
She's still a
Santa.
slut, dude. She's still a slut.
But she's Santa's slut, though.
She's
Yeah.
only a slut for
I bet
Santa.
she's banging so many elves.
On the
Oh
side.
hell yeah, dude. She's got some side pieces.
You can get
yeah.
them right up inside her.
Yeah.
Like the whole
Yeah.
elf, not just the dick.
Yeah.
Like the
The
whole,
whole
I
elf
need two of
just
you
wriggled
up
and jiggled
my
inside her.
vagina. Stat. Take care of that G spot. You know?
I do believe we've talked about beats enough. So
Yeah.
my influence of the beats has.
What
is
about the
taken
Mushroom
hold.
Kingdom?
Oh yeah, tell us about the Mushroom Kingdom.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I know and what I've seen, and parts, I guess, of understanding about. And I'm just gonna say fungi because that's how I say it. There's people who say it differently. But
Thinking about how to say it. It's
Really
fine.
caught up on how people
Yeah.
pronounce the
You
word.
did like a
Yeah.
5-minute expose on why it doesn't matter
How
before.
not
We
to
understand.
fun,
fungi.
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 Fungible.
Yeah.
Skiddable.
Uh,
Skiddly bop bop.
fungi.
Scooby Dooby Dooby Dooby.
Yeah, and that's the world is very undecisive of how to say it, how to say
Man.
that word.
That's
You
the biggest
know,
problem with the world these
That-
days.
The world that floats on the turtle.
That's
on,
what-
uh,
That's
Back
what leads
of
to
3 elephants on the
polarization, you
turtle.
know? That's
Yeah.
what leads to fucking fake news is people
Indecision.
not understanding
Yeah.
how to say beats properly and not accepting that it's okay to say beats.
Fungi.
Oh,
Fungi.
sorry. Sorry. Fungi. In
Remember
different
what we're talking
ways.
about
no
here.
one questioned
fuck.
beats.
My brain
Stay on
went back to beats.
Yeah, it's definitely not pronounced beats.
Look, if you want to pronounce a beat, I feel like that should be okay too. You know? Like we as a
Fungi,
society
fungi,
should
beats,
move on
whatever.
from these
Fungi.
strict rules.
There it is.
If you don't use the right word,
Apparently.
you'll confuse people. You
True
might be like,
languages,
hey, I took a
everything,
fun
guys.
guy to the party. And they'll be like, oh, so did you take someone was having a good time or a bag of hallucinogenic
Yeah, we got the joke.
mushrooms? Why not both?
I took a fun guy on fun guy
Yeah, great.
to the party. Anyway, sorry. You gotta do your outro, Marty. Come on, wrap it up for us, bro.
Tell us
Oh,
a mushroom Christmas story.
You know what I would like? I
No,
would
I
like.
don't have a Christmas story, but
I would like a
I
personal
have a
mushroom
story
experience.
about
Can you give us a personal mushroom experience?
Okay.
A fun one.
A
With a
fun
fun
guy.
guy.
With some fun guy.
Okay, well,
fun
this
guy.
one has always stuck with me for years. So, there's, as you drive north, heading towards Ingham, there's a rest stop on the left. Now, years ago, this rest stop was just a piece of shit. It was just somewhere to turn over and
Just toilet block there.
yeah. So
I
then
know the
up,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old picking place.
Yeah,
yeah,
classic.
yeah. So, particular time of year, generally
A lot of fun guys
when
hanging out
At
there.
that toilet block.
yeah, yeah, when,
Oh,
when
it didn't matter what time of year at that toilet block. Could have been the dead of winter. There'd be some
wonder
fun guys
why.
hanging
It's
around.
Christmas night, a lot of fun
Yeah.
guys hanging out at
Yeah.
that toilet stop.
As long as there's a lot of trucks parked out front, you better believe there's going to be a lot of fun.
There's a
rides
good
out back.
pickings.
Sorry, Marty.
so that time of year when like the homos are like raging,
Oh,
going
Jesus Christ.
absolutely serious.
Where the homers are? Jesus, Marty.
Is
come
there
on.
is there a time of year thing? Is it like is it seasonal? Like there's
Christmas time,
certain
bro.
seasons where people
Yeah,
that
it's
hang
right
out at
around
public
Mardi
places-
Gras time.
It
A lot of
is
rain,
seasonal,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
you need the
rain.
rain. Yeah, the rain and the cow poo, man.
That
they
brings
just
them
go
out.
Fucking off.
Yeah.
Yep, Callum's right under it. It's the
No.
rain and the cow shit, but this one specific paddock, which was right beside the little. Before you hit Ingham, you're about, I don't know, 10
You don't have to
minutes
describe
away.
the place, man. It's fine.
We all know
I
the
do-
glory hole.
Literally
is,
nobody
No.
nobody
It
listening
is-
will know what you're talking about. Like nobody knows what Ingham is, so it's fine.
The made up place in
Yeah,
South
but we
Africa.
know.
Yeah.
in South Africa.
Okay, so this little area, you knew when to go because if you saw mushrooms popping up in council ground around town, that was a good time to go. So you go up to this area, you jump out your car, and there was 3 different types of hallucinogenic mushrooms. There was blue meanies, there was gold tops, and there was wavy tops. The wavy tops were
Southern
hard-
Vera. What is the fucking wavy tops you're talking about?
Yeah, I think that'll be the sub.
There's
subs
no
now.
way subs are growing up in fucking North Queensland. Surely. Really?
Probably not. No.
It's a cold weather thing, right?
Yeah.
There were 3 different types, and we used to call them wavy tops, but I don't know appropriate names. The only
Okay.
2 names I knew
Gold,
were
gold tops
blue
and blue meanie.
blue meanies and gold tops.
Yeah.
And gold tops had a cousin which was very close to what gold tops looked like, so you needed to know because the other version
The other one
of-
makes you real sick.
yeah, we'll just fucking kill you. But the main reason you would go and drive all the way up there and park your car with some paper bags is so you could get some blue fucking meanies. Because
Yeah.
blue meanies are very distinguishable. You
Yeah.
know what they look like. And yeah, you'd go there and you'd pick them. Well, the rule was you flick before you pick.
Which
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No. But
The
anyway,
reason mushrooms let go of their spores is because they've got the right content and humidity conditions.
Well,
humidity is a big thing. But anyway, continue.
that's just what we did.
Yeah.
Was you just give them a little tappy tap, click click, as a sign of, you know, whomever's going to come next, because I definitely wasn't the first person to know about this place. So you're like, well, I would like more to grow for whomever comes next. But one time I took my brother up, and this is when I owned that little red Celica I used to own. We drove up and we found some blue minis, and we found nice little haul, you know, different sizes, leaving the small ones, blah, 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 blah. We didn't even consume any of them because I was driving home. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'd rather get home and then eat. On the way home, we were both, I was looking at this cloud above us, like ahead, but above us. And I was looking at this cloud and I was like, this cloud looks like a knight on a horse with a pike strolling up to attack a dragon. And me, yeah, I know.
I haven't even had
Yep.
any of the mushrooms.
Didn't
yet,
eat the mushrooms. Wink.
I know.
I missed the
Sounds
wink.
like he doesn't need to.
Yeah, wink, wink. Yeah.
I thought you
I
definitely
didn't
shouldn't have eaten the
test them
mushrooms.
out.
Hadn't eaten any mushrooms, and this was just in my head. And then my brother goes, that cloud looks like a knight on a horse with a pike attacking a dragon. And I went, holy shit, yes it does. And as I kept driving, you know, clouds move and the knight and the pike and the dragon collected, but there was no words said. But we saw
Had the same
saw
vision.
we saw the same thing with we didn't even consume the mushrooms because
It could have just been that cloud.
It genuinely looked like
Yeah.
that.
on a horse,
No other clouds in the sky, just that one. So it's like a real state.
yeah.
Right in front of them, straight out the front windscreen. Like,
There's actually a newspaper
No, dude,
article about it the next day, like
Absolutely.
weird cloud formation not seen in 100 years of night riding a horse with a pike attacking a dragon. Whole city
I
reports.
got one. You know what it
City
was?
report.
I bet you it was a fucking plane flying a flag that had like Knights first Dragons. You're both just like,
No, we didn't eat any of the mushrooms.
Yeah, I doubt that,
man.
but yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
That was a cool story.
that's a story that you all just took the piss out of, really.
No, but we do it with love.
it happened. It happened. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm cool with it because I've
Yeah.
told this story many times before, and it is just what it is, and that's
it's
how
a
it
fun
was.
story.
And we just went home and took some fucking shrooms after that.
And
What
became
happened
true psychics.
And then that bloody night never
I
turned
don't
back up.
know, but it was it was just bizarre.
That
It
is
was
bizarre.
Very bizarre. And yeah, that happened.
Well, all right. Can you
There
just?
you
I
go.
got one good question. Was it really cloudy?
Like, was there heaps of clouds, or was it just like one cloud?
Look, man, I couldn't tell you. All I know.
What? You
is
can't
there
remember that?
there was a
Come
night
on.
on
Well,
a
can you at
horse
least
with a
tell me the
pike
temperature?
coming at a dragon.
What
I
was the
wanna know
percentage
exact
humidity?
Yeah.
You know what was shit about it the most was I was driving and I just kept looking at it. And
Fixated on it.
that
Super
became-
safe. Like,
yeah, incredibly,
yeah.
right?
No one better slow
Yeah.
down in front of me. I'm way too busy
Yeah.
looking at that dragon.
With a little paper bag of
runs
Blue
into
meaning.
someone, police are like, "Hey man,
that's nuts,
what
right?
happened?" He's like, "Oh, I was chasing the dragon."
Hadn't even consumed anything.
That's nuts, right? So it's almost like you were feeling some kind of like, yeah, if we're gonna look at it a different way, we would say that, you know, you're almost feeling the effects of the mushrooms before you'd taken them, like just being in their presence. Like
Same wavelength.
gave you some
Yeah.
kind of fucking psychedelic experience.
Or having residual psilocybin on your fingers. And
Yeah, but like we talk about like the stone tape theory and stuff before. Like if there's memory in fucking places, then surely like, you know, something that people take to trip on, there's like gonna be memory in those fucking
Yeah, I
it could
suppose,
be,
like,
it could
as
be
well,
as-
because
as
the
e-
because the
be as easy
mycelium
as you-
stays under the ground. So like it's got the memory inside it, and then the mushroom is just the fruit. So,
What if
like,
it's like a fuse? It's the
Yeah, it
connector.
is.
yeah,
It's like that's what the mushrooms are, the breakers. So every time you're sort of plucking one, you're releasing a ghost.
yeah. But you're releasing some kind of it's ancestral memory.
That's why you hear that every time you pluck a mushroom.
Yeah, what does that
wait,
sound?
shit, is that why I hear that? Oh, yeah. I just thought that's how it happened.
I got a good one. I got a good one over here. This mushroom's gonna be
Yeah.
fucking.
Oh, I'm gonna scream after, I'm gonna
This
scream
is
after.
gonna
Oh, I
be
like what you're
Uh,
saying, Cameron. Yeah. There is something. I think there's something about mushrooms which is I can't explain. I try to explain it. I've tried to explain it, but there's something about mushrooms which are just incredibly bizarre.
I remember that time when you
Not-
actually
not-
picked those blue
not
meanies too, because you
It's not
you thought-
DMT, it's something else. And
I
what
remem-
are you saying?
I remember that time you picked those fucking mushrooms too, because you
Oh,
said they love.
do you
And it would have been around the
Yeah.
same time, but it was like one of the first times I actually took mushrooms. And I always remember when it first sort of kicked in, I walked
Mhm.
past the TV and he's had like Berserker or some anime on, and the fucking sword just coming out of the TV and me shitting myself, just like and diving, like died through your
Yeah.
fucking yeah. And then I
Was
remember
that
catching the
my
cab
house?
home.
That would
That-
have been
one where you shared with-
house.
No, it was your house with Dan. Remember how
Oh,
you
Dan.
shared that place?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there.
oh, Dan.
And
Bit of history there.
caught the cab home
Oh,
and just could not talk to the driver, and Seth fucking sat us in the driver's seat.
Oh yes,
Oh,
that's the best
fuck,
move,
bro.
That's the best
Fuck.
move to do to your friend with mushrooms.
What a
Like, oh, we need a cab.
cab,
Here, you get him here. Get him, jump in.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
in here.
Did not enjoy that one.
Looking
Fuck,
sideways.
It was
at
an
this
old
front
lady
door.
too. I'm like, Seth, you have to tell her where I live. I just cannot. I couldn't even remember her own name. This is fuck.
It's so funny, man. Cabbies, I have like a weird relationship with
Hilarious.
cabbies where I feel like every time I get into a cab and like I've got this down almost to the point. Now I'm not talking about Uber drivers, but like cabbies in particular, I feel like every time I get in a cab, it takes about, like you can count it down. So like count 10 minutes on your fucking watch. And if they haven't been racist, like overtly racist,
Then they are
in
the
10
other
minutes,
race. Is
then-
that what
then-
you're saying?
Then they're an Uber.
yeah, exactly. They should be an Uber driver.
Yeah.
I got back
I
from
thought I got a
Japan.
black and white cab.
I got back from Japan and got in a fucking cab with my family, my wife who's Japanese. Old mate, like fucking, I'm watching my watch. I'm like, and he's like, the thing about Asian drivers is, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Mm-mm-mm.
really? Really?
But she can't understand me, can she?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. That would actually be something a fucking cabbie would say, you know. Like, I can actually imagine a cabbie saying
It was
that.
just so fucking gross, man. It just happened so many times. I'm like, and not necessarily that, but like another one was like, one guy was just like talking about Aboriginal people, and he's like calling them fucking like real gross names. I'm like, dude, I literally just got in your cab. Why would you assume that I'm also racist?
Mm.
Like that's okay to just fucking speak like that? Like,
Yeah.
what the
And
fuck?
does he say that to everyone, dude?
Yeah,
You know
that's what I'm saying.
the
Yeah.
entire
Like, literally,
day,
Everyone.
5 minutes in, and you're using
Yeah.
racial slurs. Like,
Like,
is this literally your entire day?
Yeah.
Or is it just I look like a guy that's okay with racial slurs?
This fella. Yeah, he's gonna.
Oh, he's
Oh.
one of us. One of
Yeah.
us.
Hey,
One
there you
of
go,
us.
mate.
and
All right,
about
That's
the
when
sweet.
you accidentally got in the cab and did like a fucking Stonecutters, like
Oh,
a
handshake?
greeting
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, I did that.
And
I
there's
actually
the
did the
code.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Here we
Or
go.
you're like waving goodbye to someone in the street while you're scratching your nose. You're like, see you later, mate.
Yeah.
He's like, those Jews, right? God damn
Am
them.
I right?
You're like,
People, am I
what?
right?
You can't
You're like,
every
not even
time.
realize what you've
What?
done. What are you? What?
I'm out here trying to hail a cab.
All right, so Kalen, what about you, buddy?
Well, I just said mine.
No, you gotta
I-
give us a wrap up for the fucking evening.
Which story? I believe the Home and Alone one.
Okay, is that
Home
what you
and
say?
home and alone.
I think
Just
Home Away is like the real conspiracy in itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like your
What do you think about Christmas cuts?
links and stuff. As I was like, I've always been curious. I always had the idea of Christmas coming from like Norway and Germany and stuff. Them sort of being smashed together. But yeah, didn't know about that. That was interesting. The other thing I'll take away from this is beets aren't mushrooms, I guess.
Definitely not mushrooms.
But
Oi,
Definitely not
can't be
mushroom.
pronounced the same way.
Hello,
Ah,
beats
no,
are named.
I think
mushrooms.
1 out of 5
They are
can
not. beats are
pronounce
different.
Corley McCulkin's fucking name right.
Corley
What are you
McCulkin.
talking about, McCulkley?
Did you
What's
say
his
Paulie
last name?
McCulkin?
Yeah,
Did you
Corley.
say-
Corley.
Did you say
Corley
Shirley McCulkin?
Surely
McCulkin, I think.
Falkland?
All right, Mick. What about you, buddy?
Mick Auckland. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think interesting stories and backgrounds. I think, with the whole not telling your kids that Santa's real is like, I actually think that you definitely should, is what I think.
Definitely
anyway.
should tell them that it's real, or what do you?
Yeah, that it is real. It's like a
Yeah.
fun thing,
It's
man.
the
It's like-
excitement of
and, like,
opening
Wait,
presents,
what's
man.
real? What are
The
you telling your
Santa.
child that's real?
Commercialism.
Santa Claus, like Santa
The
Claus. is real.
mushrooms and the mycelial connection of shrooms is
Undoubtedly will
No?
tell them that is real as well,
Is.
because that is real.
down the line.
when they're
and
old
then
enough.
to Santa
For
Claus
now, they can enjoy their Santa
from
stories.
all
What
that
I
connection.
really want to get is
Dumb.
some mushroom fucking ornaments for my tree. Like now, like after like doing my research on that topic.
Man, you have to send us photos. I've never seen mushroom decorations. Never seen it.
I really want to get some fucking fly.
You know,
guys.
you're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna order some mushroom bloody ornaments for your tree and hang them up, and everyone's gonna come around and go, "Why have you got penises hanging off your tree?"
I sell.
Straight
I
up,
love
everyone will
vitamin
say,
D."
What the fuck
Yeah.
is that on your tree for, bro?
Kaylin really
you
celebrates
serious?
Christmas
Why?
differently.
That's when you just go, I have a penis.
I sell mushroom crystals. I have mushroom crystals. We sell that, so I know it's like that whole
Just call them
fairy.
dildos, man. It's
You,
fine.
you mean
We all-
you mean butt
Mushroom
plugs,
crystal,
right?
it's a butt
You're
plug.
talking about a butt
That's
plug?
a butt plug, yeah.
Yeah,
Guess what?
crystal
All
butt
you
plug.
fuckers are getting.
Sweet.
Mushroom crystals. They're
Fucking
dead.
yes.
They're alive.
Yes, please, and thank you.
All right, sweet. Biggie, what about you, mate?
Oh, dude, look, Christmas is there's a lot of interesting myths around Christmas and how it came to be. Basically, I think we should just enjoy it as a reason to get together and have a bit of time off, Like, and these stories, like I think the ancient stories about the thing, like what's it called? From
Krampus.
the Krampus.
Yeah,
Like
Krampus.
those kind of
Yeah.
stories, like that's cool that they're still celebrated in certain places. because of the fact that like our
Tradition.
Christmas story is so commercialized. From even if the mushroom cult stuff aside, like the original the idea of Christmas was like a much more heartfelt gift. Like if you're going to give somebody a gift, it was like not out of a social obligation. It was because you'd like created something or found something that was actually
Like you actually
special to
wanted
that
to, sort of
person.
thing.
Yeah, not just like a social obligation type of thing. So I do think like the whole idea of Christmas has been hijacked.
Family time.
But Rudolph was definitely a pisshead, and that's the only reason he could guide the sleigh.
It was a extremely good depiction of what is accurate there, Biggie, around Christmas, and then finished nicely on the Rudolph being
Yeah,
pissed.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which haven't every Australian been Rudolph at Christmas time once
Oh
in
hell
their
yeah!
life? You know, like
Yeah,
we're pretty much like, you know, like,
I remember literally holding Mick up, trying. He's sitting in the middle of my grandfather's driveway, holding Mick up, trying to be like, dude, you cannot be this drunk where we are because we have family at the house. So you need to come with me now, so that you're not like just passing out in the middle of a fucking driveway. Like you need to come with us. And that was the year that all of our aunties and uncles decided
that we had to sleep in the carport.
Yeah.
You're not coming upstairs in the house. Just like parading up and down the headlands doing Express Yourself by NWA, but only the chorus. Because we didn't know any of the verses.
Express yourself.
Oh man, messy Christmas.
Good times.
Oh, dude,
man.
that
Yeah,
was
but
a
you know what?
messy-
You showed
was-
yourself.
That was
that
the
was good.
Christmas.
Yeah,
after that,
for sure.
after that
Amen.
Christmas,
Oh, dude, it was great Christmas. Like that
Arnie-
Christmas
yeah,
was fucking one of my
Arnie Dad
best.
was always
It
like,
was.
"You boys get out of hand at Christmas time." We're like, "We don't get out of hand." She's like, "You got out of hand last Christmas." We're like, "You mean last Christmas, like almost 15 years ago now?" Like,
Made an impact.
oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah.
Treno, you got something to say?
I think
Literally
Trent's
crickets.
gone.
Oh, okay, there we go. He is there.
What was that
No, my
noise?
fucking
Crickets.
internet has been fucking out the whole time, man.
That's okay. We can
Like-
still hear you good though.
Yeah, you've been cutting in and out for like the last hour and a half. So
Oh, we can hear you perfectly.
Oh,
Well, that's the main thing. But yeah, dude, Christmas. Perfect excuse to spend time with your family and yeah, catch up with your friends, relax and recharge to get started for the next year, which kind of leans back onto your story, CK, with the like the taking of the mushrooms and restarting your brain and just like clearing out worries and shit that you've had from the year. Get ready for the
Yeah.
next year.
hell yeah, man.
I think
Totally
it's, yeah,
agree
sweet
with
time.
that. That is that
Yeah.
is me. That is exactly what it's about. That's perfect. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. Love
Yeah, so
that.
like that's my entire thing is basically just like if there's one time of year that it's we all want to get together with our family, like sharing memories of the last year and like looking at what the future holds. I feel like there should be some kind of celebration of that.
Finish. You go through an entire year, the entirety of a year, work, blah blah blah. But the end of it, I think you should do that. There should be time off. Just end of year. Just
How much time you taking off, Marty?
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, man.
boy.
Yeah.
Cunts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
bro.
did.
I got 4
Cunts.
weeks, man. I've been off
Fuck
for like
all
the
you. I
last
got
week.
four
double slap
fucking
for you.
lazy counts.
Hey.
I
A
got
12th of the year
four
off. Oh,
fucking
man.
lazy
12
days.
That's fucking tough.
Dude, I'm with you, Biggie. I got 4 days as well, man. And
Fucking
There's
bullshit.
I am
a,
still looking
hey,
forward to that
Caleb.
song. You better
Who's
believe.
the hers?
I am looking forward to those
Yeah,
4
so
days.
Caleb, there's Nick. So Nick.
Hold
And-
on. Can we wrap this up and then we can just talk shit?
Okay,
That's
Oh,
what-
all
okay.
right.
I think we've
Okay,
wrapped
great.
it up, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
My
Are
point
you playing the
was
outro song?
my point was that like
Yeah.
these kind of rituals are like fucking totally lost from our culture. And I feel like it's super important going into the future that we like maintain things like this and we hold value for them. And whether you consider it a Christian thing, whether you consider it a pagan thing, regardless, I don't care. We need time to be able to look back and appreciate or look forward and hope. That's
Yeah.
the vision.
And with people with birch.
You know, I'll I will also add. Oh yeah, no, fuck it. Carry on. Carry on.
Oh,
I won't stop you. Here it comes.
Gonna whip 'em good. With some bird sticks tonight. Cause I'm a goddamn crumpus. And I don't want you to feel alright. If you've been a bad boy or girl, I'm gonna take you down to hell. You're gonna spend one whole year down there. Oh no, it won't be swell. Maybe next year you'll behave yourself, and St. Nicholas will buy some gifts. Won't be Santa coming down your chimney. No, the shaman's coming through the roof. 'Cause the mushroom cult's evolving. The fat man in the red suit is the proof. Coca-Cola taking over. Commercialization setting in. Well, Christmas still a good time, so let the good time begin. We're talking about Christmas. We're talking about Christmas with the family. Oh, now it is Christmas. So listen up, the portly gentleman and me. Wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Listen to portly gentlemen whenever you get the chance.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
awesome. That was great.
That was a good
Fucking
break.
great.
On point tonight, mate. You've been
love it.
firing.
I
Yeah.
love
Fuck
it.
that, dude.
You never disappoint. That's
Yeah.
Rudolph was a drunk.
Krampus.
Black Pete.
Fourth syndrome.
Don't have lips that look anymore.